Hello friends, my name is Satchel Like a Bag Drakes, and this time around we'll be looking at the top 3 controllers for your iOS and OS X devices. The Nimbus learned a great deal from the Xbox One controller design-wise. The winged grips were a nice solution to having something that sits well in the hand without looking odd like some of the earlier controllers did. The Nimbus is completely matted and finished, which keeps function in the forefront. No worries about the pad slipping out of your hand on long plays due to sweat. This detail is often overlooked for fighting game players as well. It also makes this controller the opposite of a dust, smudge, and fingerprint magnet. The analog sticks are pretty stellar. It's reminiscent of the Xbox One in torque, and the force required to press in on the sticks is reasonably balanced so that you're not constantly clicking the button in when you don't want to, and then also at the same time you're not slipping the joystick in directions you don't want just to push that guy in. Their size and position pretty orthodox and not a far reach from the D-pad or buttons. The ABXY buttons are fine, not a conscious effort figuring that part out. They push in and bounce back very reasonably. My biggest problem is with the D-pad. In a weird way, it almost has me missing the circle plate D-pad of its predecessor, the Stratus XL. Without the circle plate, it's difficult to execute quarter and half circle commands. Think about playing a Shotokan character in Street Fighter. It's not a very agile D-pad in its current state. To its defense, the arced concave form of the D-pad can make up for it in places, but the extended span of the spokes makes giving it a shot a clumsy effort. These might be my favorite shoulder buttons. The way the triggers duckbill out offer a place to rest your fingers that's also analogous to a trigger, which was such an essential success for the PlayStation controllers. The battery is integrated and rechargeable at 40 hours per charge. It's an energy-efficient form of Bluetooth that gives it longevity. It also charges via lightning cable, one of the first pads to do that. All in all, the Nimbus is a pretty awesome third party for this new generation of controllers that doesn't suck. The tough contender for the Nimbus is HORI's HORIPAD, which rivals the Nimbus in great build quality and feel. HORI is a respected Japanese gamepad company, so I was expecting excellence. Without a doubt, the Gamepad is the one consumer electronic device that will not do well if its ergonomics are compromised. It has to feel good in order for it to be good. And when it comes to the Nimbus and the HORIPAD, function does come first, but form doesn't lag behind. The HORIPAD, however, is a fancy little thing. With its front glass panel and glass menu button and sharp LEDs, it wants to be noticed. The D-pad succeeds where the Nimbus fails in abandoning the circle plate pad, yet keeping its full tilt for quarter and half circle input. It's the short travel of the spokes and fatter plus that does it, I think. Also, if you look at the bed for the pad that the pad is sitting in, it's bigger, allowing it to pan in all directions as well as tilt. The analog sticks are spaced and positioned well. They're looser with less pull from the center and soft at the top. They give more feedback when pressed in than a Nimbus, but both of them are great. The ABXY buttons seem placed a bit farther apart, but with no issue. The one complaint I have with this controller is where design is put over ergonomics, and that's all found in the back shoulder buttons. To match the rectilinear design of this thing, the shoulder buttons stand completely level at profile, which looks good but feels horrible. They stick up past the front shoulder pads and, when in hand, feel like triggers that are tilted up way too high. They don't travel far, and they offer poor resistance when pressed in. They just don't feel good, and there's nothing like it. Power is where the HORIPAD shines. The battery lasts 80 hours. That's twice the Nimbus. And I suppose it has something to do with the weight of this thing, which is perfect, by the way. It weighs a little more than the other gamepads out there, and it's great because it feels premium, I guess. The third best controller worth trying that we'll be talking about is the PXN SPEEDY. What sets the SPEEDY apart from the rest is it's probably the best controller out there with a built-in mount for the device that you plan on using. Yeah, it comes with a holder for your phone or mini tablet. The holder is removable and it screws in, which is pretty secure, but also not very sleek if you're traveling and want to carry a bolt with you for some reason. Also, the angle adjustment of the holder isn't super high and flexible, but it does the job. This thing is an Xbox 360 controller. Admittedly, it also is kind of like a cheaper looking and feeling Xbox 360 controller. It's made of gloss, so it's a dust, smear, and fingerprint magnet. The top shoulder buttons are designed poorer than that of the Xboxes because they don't wrap around the edge of the controller like a bumper, like you can't really call them bumpers, which forces a more specific reach up top since your fingers are most likely resting on the bottom row of triggers. You do get over it though, it's not the worst thing in the world. The fact that this controller has a mount occupying the backside presents some design problems. Not for it being there, it's actually great that it's there, but it kind of takes away from a space where other buttons could be placed. Occupying the center space on the face of the controller are 3 buttons: power, pause, and Bluetooth connectivity. All 3 of these buttons live in a completely different world of functionality, context, and frequency of use. They don't belong together, but they can't exactly be split up and put on the backside like the other controllers because the mount goes there. Similarly, the charging port for this thing is inward facing rather than outward facing for the same reason, which is unusual. But dude, it plays like a 360 controller, so I mean, it's cool. Those are the top 3 controllers for the Mac, the Apple TV, and iOS devices. My name is Satchel Like a Bag Drakes. Stay copacetic.